Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, while Bitcoin is still playing out this short-term bullish divergence, the price is now approaching a significant area of resistance, which we need to pay attention to. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside Ethereum, which is now finally starting to bounce from this important Fibonacci level, while the price of Solana is also still playing out this short-term bullish divergence, and XRP is starting to break out above this critical area of resistance in the short term, while the price of Chainlink is also now flashing a new bullish divergence in the short term. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin price chart, and as of right now, we're still seeing this bearish signal in the super trend indicator, so not a lot has changed on this chart over the last one day. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously we still have a massive bearish crossover playing out, as I've been saying, over the last 1.5 months or so here in the weekly Bitcoin MACD. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously we still have a significant bearish divergence to pay attention to, with higher highs confirmed in the price and lower highs confirmed in the weekly Bitcoin RSI. And once again, I've been talking about this basically every day over the last 2 months or so. And so basically these signals right here in particular are telling us we should not necessarily expect a significant amount of bullish momentum, for example, like this or like this, for example, at least anytime soon. But of course, we can see little short-term bounces and things like that. I'm not saying we cannot see any bullish price action. Obviously, we can bounce from support and play out some short-term bullish signals and things like that. But at least for now, once again, I'd not be overly confident in the price actually playing out price action like this, at least anytime soon, talking about a number of weeks, possibly months. And so obviously over the last one day, not a lot has changed on these larger timeframes. But if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is now trading back above this 38.2% Fibonacci level, which is sitting at around 82,500. So if we see another little pullback here, expect some support around 82 to 83k, and we also have this support level at close to 76,000 based on this 50% retracement level. And if we're taking a look at this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, obviously we have significant support all the way down here, sitting in between around 70,000 to 74,000 based on previous significant resistance becoming new support, and also based on the volume profile indicator showing a lot of traded volume starting at roughly 70,000. And so as I've been saying here on the channel, we're not 100% guaranteed to actually hit those lower 70k levels, but if the price actually reaches those levels, we'll likely see quite a lot of demand around that area on the price chart. And as for resistance, based on the volume profile indicator here on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, we do have a lot of traded volume at that mid 90k area, so expect resistance around there if we make it back up there. But in the meantime, we have a spike of volume right here, a spike of traded volume in the volume profile indicator sitting at approximately 86 to 87,000. And we also have a small amount of resistance right here based on this previous high in the candle closes on the 3-day time frame, sitting at around 86 to 88,000 approximately. And so if the price of Bitcoin continues this short-term bounce here, this short-term bullish relief, as I've been talking about over the last couple of days due to this bullish divergence I'll talk about in just a moment, but if the price simply continues that short-term bullish relief, expect some resistance at around 86 to 88k, which is where the price will likely start to struggle. But if we can finally see a confirmed breakout back above 88,000, in that case, we'll likely see a continued relief up towards around 91 to 92k, and then in that low to mid 90k area would likely find significant resistance if we actually make it there. And if you want to actually trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I'm starting to take more of my trades over on 2bit, so I'll make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive trading bonuses, like for example, a brand new Mercedes-Benz or $50,000 in trading rewards simply just by trading crypto using that link. But if you're not one of these larger traders here, you can still claim some decent bonuses, like for example, a $30 sign up bonus or a 20% deposit rebate up to a max of 200 USDT. So basically basically if you deposit just $1,000 using the link below this video, you get a $200 bonus onto your 2bit account. And on top of all of that, if you simply use the link below this video, you're automatically upgraded to VIP level 1 trading fees, which basically means you get a massive discount on trading fees. You get lowered trading fees over on 2bit, but once again, only if you use that link. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is indeed a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want 2bit as an exchange, there is also BTNex as another option out there, another exchange that I also use. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to BTNex below this video. And by the way, if you use the link below this video to BTNex, you get a massive 10% discount on all trading fees forever, which is an exclusive discount that's only available if you use that link. And in case you're wondering, BTNex is also a no KYC exchange as well. But with that being said, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, and as of right now, obviously we're still playing out this short-term bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Obviously, as I've already been talking about for close to half a week now, for the last few days, we have lower lows confirmed in the price of Bitcoin and higher lows confirmed in the daily Bitcoin RSI, which is obviously a bullish divergence, telling us we're likely going to see a bit of a bullish relief in the short term, or at the very least, just a bit of choppy sideways price action. So in other words, a break or a relief from all of the bearish price action. And usually a bullish divergence on the daily time frame plays out over around 1 to 2 weeks, give or take on average. And so obviously we're at roughly half a week now, obviously a few days of this already playing out, but it will likely continue to play out at least over the next 1 week, give or take. That sort of time frame, maybe longer, maybe shorter, but at least over the next week is what I continue to expect for this bullish divergence for the price of Bitcoin. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we still have a lot of liquidity towards the downside, just below the price at around 71k to 72k, and also at around 74,000. So basically in that lower 70k area, we still have a lot of liquidity that is worth paying attention to. And as for liquidity towards the upside, we do have a decent amount starting to build at approximately 100,000, but obviously between now and then, we do have a lot of resistance. And so overall, just to summarize, once again, I do expect a little bit of a relief in the short term for the price of Bitcoin, and by extension, the crypto market, at least for the next week, give or take. But that does not necessarily invalidate these larger warning signals on the weekly timeframes, as we can see. So just keep that in mind. Even though I do expect a bit of a short-term relief, a break from the bearish price action, we're not currently in the clear yet. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, obviously the larger price structure for Ethereum, despite seeing short-term bounces, is still very much bearish. If we're simply looking at the price structure, for example, lower highs, lower lows, breaking below this very important multi-year line of support, that's all price structure heading in the bearish direction. So of course we can see bounces here and there, but ultimately we are within a larger bearish trend right now for Ethereum. But if we're taking a look at the 3-day time frame, at least in the short term, the price is finally starting to at least see a bit of a bounce from this Fibonacci level of support, sitting at just under 1.9k, around 1870 to 1880 approximately. So for now, that is still the support to pay attention to. But if, for example, we see a further confirmed break below that level, and especially with more candle closes below that level and actually rejecting from that level like that, flipping it into new resistance, in that case, the next significant support towards the downside would be sitting at just above 1,500, around 1.5k. But for now, once again, we are still finding support at around 1870 to 1880 approximately. And as for resistance, if we see a bit more of a bounce here, I would expect significant resistance in between around 2.1k to 2.2k. And obviously, we can find a little bit of short-term resistance at other levels, but the next significant area is just above 2,000. And as I always say, Ethereum, along with a lot of the major altcoins out there, will likely likely play out similar price action to what Bitcoin is doing. Obviously not the exact same price action, but if Bitcoin plays out a bit of a relief in the short term, expect something similar for a lot of the major altcoins, Ethereum included. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the weekly time frame, it's a similar situation for Solana as what I just said for Ethereum. Ultimately, the larger price structure is still not looking too good. We have broken below a massive bearish rising wedge pattern with a price target at approximately $90, but we're still running into this major area of support sitting in between $120 to $130. And obviously, I've been talking about this massive area of support since basically the moment we broke below this ascending line of support at just under 170, around 167 to 168. Basically, the moment we broke below that level, I said I'm targeting these much lower levels, but expect the price to bounce from within 120 to 130 and find a lot of support around there. And that's exactly what we are now doing as expected. And so ultimately, I would only expect the price to continue heading towards this price target and actually hit that price target at $90 only if obviously we first confirm a break below 120 with candle closes below that level. And especially if we flip that into new resistance, then in that case, we can expect the price to continue to drop down towards $90. But in the meantime, we're still finding a lot of support around here. And if we're taking a look at the daily time frame, obviously, at least as of right now, we still have an active bullish divergence on the daily Solana chart. And obviously, I've already been talking about this over the last couple of days now, telling you that yes, it is technically active, but obviously, just as I said in my last video, we were getting very close to possibly invalidating the bullish divergence, but we have not yet invalidated the bullish divergence, which means obviously right now it is still active. And considering we're seeing a continued little relief here in the short term, this is pulling the RSI further towards the upside, which is further confirming the high low in place, further confirming the bullish divergence. And considering the fact that Bitcoin is of course playing out its own bullish divergence, as I always say, Solana, along with a lot of the major altcoins out there, follow similar price action to what Bitcoin is doing. And so with Bitcoin playing out a bit of a short-term bullish relief, that is helping some of these other altcoins like Solana, for example. So at least over the next week, give or take, considering this bullish divergence is still currently active, I do expect a little bit of a short-term relief. So basically just a break or a relief from all of the bearish price action, but not necessarily the end of all of the bearish price action. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the 3-day time frame, at least for now, we still have a massive bearish divergence, which is currently active on the 3-day XRP chart. So not a lot has changed over the last 1 day in that regard, which means we should not necessarily expect a significant amount of sustained bullish momentum towards the upside, at least based on this signal right here on the larger time frames. But of course, we can see short-term bullish movements here and there, and that is obviously what we are currently seeing. We're continuing to bounce from this exact area of support in between around $1.95 to $2.05. And then for quite a few hours, for roughly half a day, give or take, close to a day, we struggled quite a lot around this short-term area of resistance, which was sitting in between around $2.25 to $2.30. But just recently, we've now officially confirmed at least one 8-hour candle close above $2.30, which is one confirmation signal confirming the breakout above this short-term resistance, which is obviously at least a short-term bullish signal. And the next significant area of resistance towards the upside for the price of XRP is sitting in between around $2.65 to $2.80, and we also have significant resistance at around $3, and we could find some short-term resistance at around $2.50 and also potentially at around $2.38 to $2.40 based on previous support becoming new resistance. And once again, if you want to figure out what is very likely going to happen for the price of XRP, pay attention to the Bitcoin price, because as I've been saying throughout this video and many times here on the channel, if Bitcoin's playing out a short-term bullish relief, expect something similar for XRP and a lot of the altcoin market, and vice versa. If Bitcoin continues a dump, expect something similar for a lot of the major altcoins. And with that being said, if we're taking a quick look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, at least as of right now, we are currently in the process of activating and potentially starting to play out this new bullish divergence on the daily Chainlink chart, because we've already confirmed lower lows in the price in the candle closes, and we're currently forming these higher lows in the daily Chainlink RSI. And obviously, this short-term bullish divergence is happening at the same time as that bullish divergence for Bitcoin and Solana, etc. And we're also currently bouncing from this 78.6% Fibonacci level of support, sitting at around around 1270 to 1280, give or take. So we still have a lot of support around there, just under $13. But if we were to actually confirm a break below that level, and especially with multiple candle closes and reject from that level like that, for example, flipping it into new resistance, in that case, I would expect a continued move down towards around $10, because $10 would be the next significant support towards the downside if we first further confirm that break below around 1270 to 1280. But for now, once again, that is still acting as short-term support. And as for resistance, I would expect a lot of resistance at around 1450 to 1550, give or take. So basically around this previous golden pocket area of support, flipping into new resistance. And if we can finally see a confirmed breakout back above around 1550, give or take, I would expect a lot of resistance around $17.50 to $18. And like I've been saying for months now on the channel, since much higher prices all the way back up here, obviously the larger price structure or the larger trend for the price of Chainlink is still currently bearish. Obviously, we can see short-term bounces from support levels and other signals like that. Yes, we can see some bullish price action here and there during a bearish trend, but ultimately, if we're simply just looking at the trend, we're still forming lower highs and lower lows, breaking below support levels and rejecting from resistance levels, at least as of right now. That is the current situation when we're talking about the larger trend. But just in the short term, during the larger trend, I do expect just a slight little relief, a bit of a break from the bearish trend, maybe for a few days, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, due to this bullish divergence. And also with Bitcoin playing out its bullish divergence, that can help with the rest of the altcoin market. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter what the price is doing, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen, because the video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using things like short positions and long positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.